Welcome to This Year in Canadian History. My name is Tristan Krautoff, and I am your host today. Today we are reviewing the 1837 Canadian rebellions in Upper and Lower Canada. In 1837, Canada experienced two rebellions, one in Lower Canada involving French Canadians and the second one in Upper Canada, which was led by William Mackenzie. The rebellion in Lower Canada was a result of French Canadians not being given any power or representation in the government. The ruling body, the Chateau Clique, is an unelected assembly that was made up mostly of businessmen, looked after their own affairs at the expense of everyone else. That meant that most people were faced with high taxes, low wages, and little work. In addition, there were a number of failed crops and many sick people, which only made matters worse. As a result, a rebellion broke out. In Upper Canada, people were drawn there by the promise of open land. However, when they arrived, they found most of the land was owned by the Family Compact, ruling party. This made it difficult to create a successful farm. In addition, failing crops meant little harvest and no money. Banks called in loans and people weren't able to pay. They had no one to complain to because the election of the governor, Bondhead, was rigged. Many people also attributed the fact that the Anglican Church was given special treatment over other churches, including land. The people wanted a democracy so that they would have a voice. Unfortunately, both of the uprisings failed. They failed for a number of reasons. First, most of the attacks by the rebels were not well coordinated. Second, the British won many of the first skirmishes, and that led to the arrest of most of the rebel leaders and many of their supporters. Third, the Catholic Church did not support the rebels and encouraged people to stay loyal to the English rule. Unfortunately, Mackenzie found little support for the rebellion because many did not like his demands. He demanded that a democratic government be established. Many of his fellow rebels did not agree with his ideas. He led them into battle, known today as the Battle of Montgomery's Tavern, that met with defeat. The rebels fled and escaped to America dressed as a woman. Even though he left Canada, he continued to keep the rebellion alive. These battles could have been avoided if things had been handled differently. For example, Mackenzie could have tried to coordinate a strike. He could have encouraged people to stop working or selling their crops to make the government pay attention to them. Another option might have been to coordinate this fight with the rebels in Lower Canada. They had some of the same issues, and if they had organized themselves better, they could have been stronger. For example, the rebellion in Lower Canada was in November, and the rebellion in Upper Canada was in December. If they likely had coordinated their attacks, they might have been more powerful. Another option might have been for all people to stop paying taxes. If they stood together and refused to pay taxes, the ruling parties had no option but to listen to what they had to say. These ideas may have worked or not. We will never know. What we do know is that these rebellions in 1837 are part of our Canadian history. Be proud of it.